We are starting this video with the end of step 11, which is pressure wash grill, then wheels while rinsing body. We're finishing that rinse with a thorough one of the front bumper, and there's a lot of cracks and crevices and pockets up there, so we're spending a little extra time getting everything out of there, and we're ending with a quick rinse of the underside of that front bumper. Then we're going to go hang up the pressure washer wand. We don't need to roll it up yet because we're going to need that for step 12, which is roll wheels 180 degrees, reapply acidic pre-soak, scrub, then pressure wash. First, get the keys. Make sure whichever direction you're rolling is clear. Then we can start rolling our wheels. We're going to keep both feet inside the vehicle. That way we don't accidentally stand up before putting it in park, letting the vehicle roll away. And we're going to stick our head out the driver's door and watch that rear valve stem. This will help us get a full 180 degree turn on those wheels. Now, in most new cars, you're going to need to buckle up the seatbelt in order to put the car in drive with the door open, so keep that in mind. Then we're going to go hang up the keys right back on the key hook. While I'm over there, I'm checking the quick order chart. It's a good idea to do often. That keeps us in order, keeps our quality consistent, making sure nothing gets missed. And I'm going to walk over and grab the acidic pre-soak handle, and we're going to start applying that to the wheel and tire. We're going to do this the same way we did alkali pre-soak in step 6 and acidic pre-soak in step 10. While we're doing this, we're going to make sure that we get the entire face of the wheel, as well as the tire, the caliper, and of course the barrel of the wheel as well. As I'm walking around the back here, you can see I stand on the hose, and that's to make sure that it does not touch the paint. It will put hose marks and scratches in the paint, so I want to make sure the hoses never touch the paint. See, I'm spraying it up in the air to get the underside of those spokes before getting the rest of the wheel. The next step is scrub, and I was right by the wash cart, so I grabbed that barrel brush while I was on my way to hang up the acid hose. And we're going to start scrubbing again at the driver's front wheel. Each wheel, we're going to start and stop scrubbing at the valve stem. This means we have to think a little bit less. We don't have to keep track of where we've been. We don't under or over scrub anywhere, and we don't miss any spoke holes. Now, in between each spoke, we're going to need at least 3 passes. That's because 2 of the passes will need to be to get behind the spoke on either side of the brush, and then of course 1 pass to get in between the spoke itself. Then we'll move to the next spoke hole. I usually work my way around, working behind the spoke to the left of my brush, then the middle, then behind the spoke to the right of my brush. Now we're coming around here to the passenger rear wheel, and we do want to mention that we're not trying to get the barrel perfect in here. If they need it perfect, we need to take the wheel off in order to get it that good. We're just trying to get it a lot better. And now we're moving to the final wheel, the passenger front wheel. Now, after we get the barrel scrubbed, if there's any white walls or white letters, this is the time to scrub them. You need to scrub them aggressively with a brass brush. White walls and white letters are white all the way through, so really what we're doing is removing a layer of rubber to expose a nice bright white new one. After that, we're going to hang up any brushes used, brass brushes or barrel brushes. And we're going to hang up our acidic pre-soak and hose. We won't need that again until exhaust tips, and usually we don't need to take out the whole hose for that anyways. Now I'm going to move over to pick up and turn on the pressure washer, and we're going to start again at the driver's front wheel and tire. And we're pressure washing the same exact way we did in step 7 as well as step 11. Quick review on pressure washing. That is 3 to 6 inches away. It is perpendicular to the surface being cleaned, and generally bottom up. And then we're moving to the driver's rear wheel now. Did want to mention that one of the reasons we focus on the caliper during this step is that after we've rolled the wheels, the spokes are in a slightly different position in relation to the caliper. That allows us to clean the entire caliper so that in any positions it's parked in for delivery or afterwards, it looks nice and brand new for the customer. Walking around back here, I'm going to take a little time to straighten out the hose. I notice that if I focus a little bit on that during the wash, it's a lot easier at the end of the wash to roll it back up. Then we're going to start on the passenger rear wheel. Start with our 45-degree angle pointed upwards, working upwards, then perpendicular, working back down the wheel. Then we're going to point it 45 degrees down and work up the wheel, going off the tire at each pass. Then we're going to start dipping into the barrel there, in between each spoke. Again, we're not making the barrel perfect, but we're going to make it darn clean in there. Now we're moving up to the passenger front wheel, our last wheel. One thing I wanted to mention is that you'll notice I'm not taking a special trip around the tire. This is because these tires are relatively low profile and flat on the outboard face. So I know as long as I go off each edge, I will get the entire tire clean. Now that we're done pressure washing, I'm going to walk back over to the pressure washer reel and hang up our pressure washer handle. If you're doing an interior, you won't need that pressure washer anymore. Go ahead and roll that all the way up. But if you're doing a complete or an exterior, leave it out for rinsing that clay off. This concludes step 12, and then we will start step 13 with steel wooling the exhaust tips, but we will cover that in a later video. Thank you for your attention.